Shalom, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakak, Wadash, Ma'amah. I want to give a double honor to the elders of GMS. Salutations to the sincere Aki and pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the Car Karab Bani Yasharal, coming out of the Lion's Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now today I'll be coming out with another little short lesson. The title of this lesson is Don't Get Mad at Correction. Don't get mad when the Heavenly Father corrects you. Don't get mad when the Heavenly Father uses your brother to correct you. Don't get mad at correction. But without further ado, I'm not going to do too much talking. I'm going to just let the scriptures speak for themselves. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 32. This is, he that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. See, the one that refused to hear instruction or to hear correction, that is the one that despises his own soul. You hate yourself. And in doing that, you're going to cause destruction to come upon yourself. This is but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The one that heareth the reproof, that heareth the correction, that don't despise the instruction, that's the one that's going to get understanding. The one that can take the fact that he may have made a mistake, and he recognizes that mistake, or somebody over him or somebody next brother or correct him or anything, and he takes heed and listens. That's the one that's going to get an understanding of his mistake and what he did and learn how not to do that same thing again. But again, I'm going to read the verse one more time. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. Simply put, don't get mad at correction. This is verse 12 of the same chapter, Proverbs chapter 15. It says, a scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. See, somebody that's a scorner, they don't love the ones that reprove them. They don't love the ones that correct them. They don't like correction. And neither will they go to the wise. Neither will they go to somebody that's wise or learn the error of their ways. Again, don't get mad at correction. Verse 10, correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. See, correction is grievous unto one that forsaketh the way, the way of righteousness, forsaketh the way of correction. And he that hateth reproof shall die. He that hates correction shall die. When you hate correction, you despise instruction, you're going to die. You will bring upon yourself destruction for not heeding and following the rules. Don't get mad at correction. Verse 5. A fool despiseth his father's instructions, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. A fool despiseth his father's instruction. If you despise the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, you are a fool. And only fools despise correction and instruction. Only a fool hate reproof. This is, but he that regardeth instruction, well, Salakia, not instruction, but reproof or correction, is prudent. The one that regards, the one that gives respect, that gives way, gives honor, to be able to look at if he has made a mistake, to be able to take the correction. The one that takes that correction and don't despise it, that's the one that's wise and prudent. That's the one that's going to get understanding. Don't get mad at correction. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 1. It says, a wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. See, a wise son is going to hear his father's instruction. A wise son is going to take his correction and not despise it. But a scorner heareth not rebuke. Somebody that is not with following instructions or don't take correction, they're not going to hear the rebuke. Another word for correction is rebuke, as well as reproof or reprove. They all mean correction, to make right, to straighten up, to put back on the right track. Somebody that's a scorner, they don't get mad at correction. No matter how the Heavenly Father comes and corrects you on whatever vessel or thing he uses, just know, don't get mad at correction. Look at the error of your ways and see what you did so you can learn from it. That's how you get wisdom. Verse 13. of Proverbs chapter 13. It says, whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Whoso despiseth the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, whoso despiseth correction and instruction shall be destroyed. But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. He that respects, he that hears the reproof, the correction of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua shall be rewarded. It's going to live. Verse 18, I'm going to jump to verse 18. It says, poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, refuses correction, turns their ear away from it, don't want to hear the rebuke, don't want to hear the correction. Poverty and shame is going to come upon them, desolation, destruction. You see, but he that regardeth, he that respecteth, that gives ear to reproof, correction, shall be honored. Plainly, simply stated. Verse 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth betimes. See, again, rod. The rod of what? Correction. If you don't say he that spareth his rod, you have a son and or a daughter or whatever. A rod doesn't always mean you have to beat the crap out of your child or beat your child. It's based on correction. If you spare the correction when your child do something wrong, just using an example, the scriptures say you hate your son, you hate your child. It says, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. But when you love your children, just like the Heavenly Father love us, you're going to correct your child. So again, don't get mad at correction. The Heavenly Father corrects us. He reproves us. He rebukes us. And so forth and so forth. But again, he that spareth his rod hateth his son. And the Heavenly Father, he don't hate us, because he corrects Yasharallah all the time. He's been correcting Yasharallah for years and still is. But again, he that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. When you love your child, just like the Heavenly Father loves us, you're going to correct your children when they go out, when they go off, or when they get out of order. You're going to put them back in order. You're going to rebuke them. You're going to reprove them. You're going to give them words of reproof, words of correction. You're going to instruct them to get back on the right path. Last point, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 11 and 12. It says, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, Yahweh, neither be weary of his correction. Don't despise, don't hate, don't get mad at the correction of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. Neither be weary of his correction. He's going to correct us when we go off and we do things not according to his word. That's just like he's a father that's correcting his child. Just like in Proverbs 13. Again, my son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord Yahweh loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. So again, don't get mad at correction. The Heavenly Father is going to correct us. Should we do anything wrong or go off, there will be a correction. This is the Heavenly Father giving you that reproof, giving you that rebuke to get you back on the right track so that you can keep going forward. So again, don't get mad at correction. Shalom.